Welcome to the Medium in the Middle podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, the Medium in the Middle. On this podcast, I share my journey as a developing psychic medium, as a Reiki master teacher, as an Akashic record practitioner, and anything else that's thrown my way. Join me every week. I release new episodes every Tuesday. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Medium in the Middle podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie, the Medium in the Middle. Welcome to episode 112, the second episode of 2022. And we are flying by the seat of our pants today, middlers. Something's going on with my microphone. I sounded underwater the first 17 times I tried to fix this, and now I'm recording in a way I have never recorded before. So it makes me very nervous, but you're along for the ride with me, so I hope this all works out. Today, I have an exciting topic to bring to you about finding leaks in your energy, being able to identify them. What are they? How do they affect you? And I'm really excited to bring this conversation to the podcast because me and none other than Court Burns were having this conversation in the DMs, and I thought, this is a good conversation to have on the podcast. So we're going to start with the card pull for this week, and I always just look in my drawer of where I keep all my oracle cards, and I ask what deck wants to be used this week, what the listeners need, kind of what I'm feeling drawn to. And this week I was pulled to the Kyle Gray Angel deck, the Angel Guide Oracle deck. And it's funny because I was shuffling, and I always ask for guidance for the listeners for whenever you're listening to this podcast. So even if it's not your second podcast in 2022, whenever you choose to listen to this, hopefully the card resonates for you. And I've never pulled this card on the podcast before. I have pulled this card before. But I was shuffling, and I pulled the card Yes. And then I was like, well, that's not a good podcast card. So I kept shuffling, and I pulled a card again, and guess what card I got? Of course, I pulled the card Yes twice. So this is the real message for you guys. I feel like a few of you need to hear this. Your message. Yes, yes, yes. The answer is yes. Proceed. Go forth. Achieve. Enjoy. Don't hold back. The time is now. Rise up, fly high, light up, express yourself, experience, share. Ooh, okay. Extended message. This card is a huge thumbs up. If you are making a decision, the answer is yes. Go for it. This is a time for positivity, celebration, and progress. Angels are encouraging you to let in the light and enjoy it. All of your hard work is paying off. Any endeavors, projects, and opportunities before you now are getting the green light. If you've been holding off for the right time, the time is now, and you are being encouraged to take the next step. You're good to go. If you're feeling scared or worried, that's okay. Invite in help. Angels are there to guide you, and they want to be part of your success. So, relax and experience the joy that is unfolding for you now. Card is Yes. Okay, so the card had a better description. Usually I don't read the description for the card Yes, but I liked that. So, you heard it here, folks. Yes, go do it. Take action. Proceed. Go forth. Achieve. I'm feeling like saving the announcements till the end of today's episode, but if you're not sticking around, essentially, if you want to learn Reiki or how to read your own Akashic records, I have things for you. Link is in the show notes. But let's jump right into this week's episode because this is important, and it's important to talk about at the beginning of the year as well. I'm still kind of in that fresh new year energy. We're starting off the year. We're still in January. We're rolling forward. And this is an important thing to scan for in your life and be aware of in your life. And this is the energy leak. So I want to describe your energy in a way that you can think of it as something physical outside of yourself. So some people like to use a glass of water as a reference, but I'm going to reference a balloon, and I'll also reference a pizza at the end because that's a very helpful visualization as well. So I want you to think of your energy as a balloon. Okay? So you have this balloon, and some days you're full of energy, so your balloon is really big and it's expanded. Some days you don't have too much and your balloon is small. Now there's going to be things in your life that pop a pin-size hole in your balloon. And all of these things are going to make your energy start to leak out of your balloon. These things are little tiny pinholes, but they are slowly leaking your energy, almost like it's going somewhere and you don't even know where it's going. It's being wasted, essentially. And this can be things for a variety of reasons. It can be something that you said yes to that you want to say no to. It can be something that you have to do every day that you just don't like doing. It can be things in your life that drain you, that don't fill you up. It can be people in your life that just take, and don't give anything back to you. All of these little things are energy leaks, and they literally leak your energy. So if you're tired all the time, you don't know where it's going, start to scan your life and look for these things that are leaking from you. So first thing to do is to do a scan of your life and see where your energy is going, see where it's leaking, and then see how you can control it. So there's going to be a few things you can do. You can either cut that thing out of your life or person out of your life. So it's something you don't like doing. Maybe you pass it off. Maybe you stop doing it. Maybe you pay someone to do it. Maybe your husband or partner does it for you. If it's a person in your life, maybe you start saying no when they invite you to coffee, because every time you go, it takes so much energy just to be there or participate. Maybe it's a piece or a job or a duty that you can get rid of. So the easiest thing to do in these cases is to get rid of the energy leak. But I want to talk about what happens when you can't get rid of the energy leak. So there is still going to be things in our lives where we can't pass them off, get rid of them. We have to do it. This is going to be anything in your life that you personally have to do, that you have to deal with, and where you can't set a boundary for. So I'm going to use a really, really simple example because this is what's on the top of my mind right now. But for me, taking out the recycling is, for some reason, the biggest energy leak. I just will move it from under the sink to by the door, and it will sit by the door for 5 days where I will trip over it 6 times a day, but refuse to take it out to the recycling because I feel like it takes too long, even though it's a probably 2.5-minute job return. So I did some Psych K on myself for this because I don't know why I hate taking out the recycling so much, but I needed to reclaim the narrative around that chore that I don't like doing. So putting the bin by the door and tripping over it for 5 days actually takes more energy than the 2.5-minute trip it is to just take it outside to the recycling bin. Wow, what a newsflash. And when you realize where you're leaking energy or where things start to take more from you than it would to actually just do it, there's a lot of good memes on TikTok, like when you've procrastinated that job at work for 4 hours and then it only takes you 5 minutes to do it, you essentially just leaked 4 hours when you could have just done it in 5 minutes. So I want you to be very mindful of where just a mindset shift can help you in these energy leaks. So something that I always think to myself is this going to take more energy to not do, to push off until tomorrow, to postpone, to cancel, whatever it is? Or can I just do it and get it over with? So that would be for something that I am responsible for doing that I just can't get rid of. Like, I have to take out my recycling. I live alone. No one else is going to take it. If all the ghosts that lived with me could take out recycling, that would be amazing, but they don't. That was a funny mediumship joke, but okay. Other things is saying no to things you said yes to that you are no longer feeling you want to do. Saying no or canceling last minute. We kind of have a rule amongst our friends that anyone's allowed to cancel at any time because of any reason. They don't need an excuse because we all understand energy. You just saying, I don't want to come anymore, I can't come anymore, I'm not coming, that's enough for us. We won't ask why, we won't ask any questions. It's like, okay, you're an adult. If you are choosing not to come and protect your energy for this evening, we 1000% support that. You don't need an excuse. You don't need a reason. And start taking that attitude in your life. No is a full sentence. You don't have to tell anyone why you can't go or why you can't do anything. We feel like we need to as humans, but again, that's an energy leak. If explaining why is an energy leak, then you just don't say anything. And we know what this feels like when we're spiraling and we're going down, 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 and we need to start, filling those holes in our balloons. It's like, oh, I got to start taking care of it. But be very mindful of where these things show up in your everyday life, that you can just tune it, fine tune it. And you'll start to see when you start to fill these holes in your balloon, so you're not leaking as much, you have way more energy. You feel good. You feel energized. You feel like you have time for things. You feel like you have energy to go do things that you maybe couldn't do before. This is why it's important to just monitor in your life where you're leaking. So I want to use a reference that the Akashic Records use a lot, and they talk about it as a pizza. So this is a little bit different than a leak, but it is still a good way to describe this. So they often describe it like a pizza or a pie or whatever you want to think. So I have a pizza. And if my friend Susie is hungry, okay, I'm going to give her a slice. Oh, and I have kids, so they get 2 slices. And then, my neighbor doesn't have any food today, so I'm going to give them a slice. And then, someone else, their pizza didn't arrive, so I'm going to give them some slices. And with all the things that just happened in my life, I'm giving away all these slices of pizza until I look down and I realize I have no slices left and I haven't eaten yet. So now I'm hungry. I had a full pizza, but based on my actions, I now have no pizza to feed myself. So this is kind of the extreme situation of if you don't maintain your leaks, your holes in your balloon, you will end up with a deflated balloon. You will end up with no pizza to eat. You will end up hungry because you gave away all your pizza. There's no one else to blame when it comes to energy leaks. We have to look at ourselves because even the things we have to do, the things we can't cut out, the things we can't boundary, you can still change your mindset about it. And you can still change your energy input and output about it. View it as a trade. What are you inputting? What are you receiving out of it? Is tripping over the recycling for 5 days worth the 2-minute trip? Is thinking about something you have to do, dwelling over it for days and days and days, is that worth the energy, or could you just get it over with? So I wanted to bring this to your attention because there's so many things in life that we leak that we might not be aware of, but when you start to be aware of them, it will drastically support you. Drastically. And I'm not saying to go cut out everybody from your life and stop talking to Susie and Johnny and whoever else. I'm just saying be mindful of where you feel like your cup isn't being refilled. Are you constantly emptying? You are in charge of your cup, your pizza, your balloon, however you want to visualize it. You're the boss. You're the soldier standing out front. You're the person handing out the slices. So you're in charge. So here's a reminder that you're in charge. So that's my quick little message for today. I wanted to get this out at the beginning of the new year because I feel like this is the energy we need a reminder for. Be mindful of your energy leaks. A reminder that you are in charge and you can fill those holes in your balloon. You can keep some slices for yourself. I'm not saying keep them all. Just be sure to remember that you're hungry and you also need to eat. So that is all I have for you guys today. A little quick one. Now I'll do announcements. So if you want to learn how to read your own Akashic records, I get asked this all the time. Can I read my own Akashic records? Can anyone read their own Akashic records? And the answer is yes. Everyone has access to their own Akashic records. So the January meeting in the middle is a 2-hour event of how to read your own Akashic records. So it's an introduction of how to read the records. I'm going to take you into your records. We're going to practice. We're going to ask questions. I'm going to tell you how to make the questions. It's going to be really fun. I've done this a few times and it's very popular. People really like learning that they have access to this information. So if you want to join us, that will be on Saturday, January 29th from 2 to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And if you cannot make it live, as always, the replay is available for everyone who registered. So if you sign up, everybody gets a copy of the replay. And there is Reiki trainings available. So there's Reiki Level 1 and Reiki Level 2 available in February. Reiki Level 1 is February 26th to 27th. Reiki Level 2 is February 5th and 6th. So if you have been waiting for a Reiki training, those still have a few spots in them. You can jump on that. I will leave all the links to sign up in the show notes. And if you are an iTunes user, I would love and appreciate a rating and a review. And if you are a Spotify user, you can now rate the podcast. Woohoo! So all of those things are still available. If you want an appointment with me, I am booking Distance Reiki, Akashic Records, or Psych K. That's all done virtually. It's booking about a month out right now, but I am still available. You can book that on my website, The Medium in the Middle. And as always, if you want to come see me in Banff, come see me in real life for some Reiki. That's all for this week, Middlers. Thank you for listening, and I will see you next week in your ears. I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye. So I have to share this because this is episode 112, and my audio was off the entire episode because my microphone was plugged in to my desk and not my computer. We all make mistakes, folks. Have a good week.